Peace. This is Star with the Star Blooms. Thank you to Archangel Michael for clearing any and all etheric and physical attachments that are being attempted at this time. Intentions, thought processes, as well as projections. Canceling any and all contracts, revoking and rescinding any and all agreements. May any and all monitoring spirits go deaf, mute, and blind. Thank you to my benevolent ancestors of the highest light, whom I am assigned to, and my higher self as I align. Thank you to the Most High for clearing my channel, allowing me to be a clear channel for you at the highest light as we divine any and all necessary messages to be perceived at this time without any interferences or disruptions and blockages of clarity and truth. Abracadabra, make it so. I say Ashayo. So I was basically going to do a hit side, and there's so many messages that came in between me basically uploading the message and pausing. 122. So I'm going to basically share what I'm perceiving right now. There is this rate of misunderstanding and pointing the finger that really pauses us in our progression when we are basically working towards doing race of shadow work. And this is for those who are aware that they are just now starting their healing journey. There is a group of us who are basically at this rate of opening, which is what I was going to say. I believe the opening is more so recognition of the portals that have been cleared, the pathways that have been made, and then walking the walk and talking the talk. It's basically a show up in a rate of embodiment, because as you shine your light, you're creating this lighthouse for other energies to perceive. There's also this rate of zapping, which is what I shared a year ago now, I believe, that there's this rate of zapping that is occurring within your auric field that is cleansing and moving away things that aren't meant to attach themselves to you. However, to the ones who are aware that they are just now starting their healing journey, there's this rate of pointing the finger or sitting in a rate of digestion that doesn't really allow you to align to what is being placed before you. So what I'll say, before I had a recognition when I first started 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Spirit. This is Source. This is Source. This is literally, I have come to you with a divine interruption so we can actually process the messages that we want to get out, because somebody needs to hear this. You save yourself a lot of time at trigger station when you acknowledge bon qui qui, whether it's bon qui qui or pedisha, or if it's all right, karmic Stanley, whoever, right? You save yourself so much time when you recognize the art of detachment, allow it to be cleansed and purified through the filter of not being in disillusion, not being in self-delusion, not being in race of self-doubt with self. However, recognizing when you're going through these processes that it's all part of your journey, right? So a lot of the times we get caught up in wanting to basically live in the event that has occurred and not being in representation of the story that is being basically is woven, is being seated within you, right? It's not always about being the bigger person. It's more so about recognizing the rates that you get to basically build beyond, having knowledge of the spaces that you've actually been able to come into the light of, not being burdened at the bottom of the deck. That's the truth, Spirit is saying. Not being burdened by how you have to show up at race of being resilient towards things that may have wanted you to be in this fight or flight experience. Recognize that even when you come into the midst of something that's wanting you to, I don't know why I'm hearing like I'm thinking about promiscuity, but I'm thinking about like flirting with a trigger. But there's a thing about triggers. Trigger is almost 125. There's a thing about triggers. triggers are something that have to be ignited, right? So if you take away the flame from something, which usually sits at the root of it, all right, then the thing that's wanting to kind of gain access to you through this trigger doesn't have the ability to gain access. And we get to have this rate of awareness through how we allow ourselves to learn how to discern, what is it that I'm being taught in this moment? I have somebody who's in my energy who's basically wanting to sit in this rate of, stalking their potential in prosperity based off of how they previously perceived themselves before somebody came in and altered their trajectory and what they were going. Somebody was a friendly person, but they came into contact with rates of spell work, and they have this large rate of built up guilt towards making a decision. They have this large rate of regret, and they may even be sitting in rates of psychosis due to the black magic. I'm looking at the faces in the background of this card, and how you could basically perceive the entities that could be wanting to play in this I don't know why I'm seeing a feminine energy in this feminine energy's face, wanting her to believe that she's lost at a certain rate. I believe that any and all things come in to, one, strengthen you, but also to teach you. If you are new at this rate of if you are new at this rate of emotional manipulation, you are being taught how to energetically cleanse your divine waters. It's an internal threshold that you are meeting in this beta experience with yourself. Sometimes we show up friendly to other people, but we don't know how to be a friend to ourselves. We show up friendly to other people, then we be fold in our own energy, fold in our own thought processes, and even making connections with other people. Sometimes things come in to teach you how to create boundaries that protect you, how to stop disenfranchising is what I'm hearing Spirit say. Disenfranchising with the things that you and your ancestors are working towards. With this disingenuous energy, not wanting to put a mask on or show up as the representative in spirit, right? Having this false identity, or even dealing with people who are false pretenders wanting to come in and claim victory over you in your auric field. Excuse me, y'all. Because they learn how to gain access towards what it is that you're working towards, because you might be sitting at this rate of cognitive dissonance, because how you've awakened to the rate of connections that you've previously made. Excuse me, y'all. Spirit is revealing to you at this time, the inner workings of spiritual work. Maybe you spoke on somebody having, maybe you spoke on somebody having an experience before, right? And you didn't believe that these experiences was happening, because I'm speaking to a divine energy who believes to have basically descended into a rate of themselves, yet they feel like they've been attacked by somebody else. And instead of them being empowered in this experience and allowing themselves to ascend and transform in this experience, they're in the reverse, all right? Which means that they are quickly moving down to a part of themselves that they believe that they're not going to be able to come from again, just because they have this it's like they're fighting a tower. They're fighting a tower. I see somebody speaking on somebody's situation. So somebody saying, oh, this happened to me. And I see there's this rate of this person being in community with someone. Maybe it was even a situation of a relationship, right? Because we had promiscuity that came out. We had spying that came out, where this person was speaking on, thank you, Spirit, speaking on something that they were privy to only because they were in connection with this energy. And it was a setup to see if they would actually extend their heart and not their hand. Thank you, Spirit. Extend their heart and not their hand to this energy that is extremely independent, who was going through a transformation. And now they're at this rate of optimism, hoping that it doesn't come back around to them at the rate that they gave it at, yet it's all part of your lesson. So in shadow work, you have the ability to basically grow beyond the spaces that you previously had limitations to. It's not just about breaking the connection that you have with your said belief system. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to come back on. It's about the rupture. I'm going to come back on. I said I was going to share the rupture. This is what Spirit is wanting me to do. I'm going to stop here. That way I know it's enough time for me to actually share the message. But that's what it is. The remorse versus the promise. Someone is basically in this space of remorse due to the rate of promise that they believe that they had potentially, but now they're experiencing some strife. They're experiencing something that's testing their resilience, and they feel burdened in it because the truth is that they fought something that was wanting to basically be perceived in its Queen of Cup energy, and they should have basically held an open hand to it. I'll be back, y'all. Peace.